Get ready. The guys that will put your fears behind you are on the air now. They're taking calls at 713-785-1817.
All right, guys. Hot mics.
Toll free
877-881-0221.
Here's Tom and Jason.
Hey, welcome to the show, Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Having a little bit of issues with the Book of Faces today, so getting ready to go live on our laptop, just so we can do that. And, you know, technology is always very entertaining, isn't it? So we do talk about real estate. We're experts in buying, fixing, and flipping, buy and hold, wholesaling. Great opportunities in Houston, Texas. You can buy all the properties that you want. Let's see here. Write something. Let's see. We're even trying to. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do the show. He's going to work on that. We're going. Actually, I've got live video can go right now. So there, we can go live. There we go. Live video. Here we go. All right. So that's, you actually get to see the chance to see the green screen and instead of the pretty pictures that we have through Wirecast. So Wirecast is not working for us. So today I'm actually going to be starting to walk some neighborhoods and start talking to some people that have had flooded houses. You know, I understand that one of our students actually bought 4 houses yesterday, is the rumor. I haven't heard it directly from the student, but I heard it from another source. And so we have our sales meetings today for Houston House Buyers and QPS, and we'll be able to have all of our salespeople in here and be able to give some good updates tomorrow. We also have all of our vendors on Thursday, so good information there. Let's see if we can. Yeah, there we go. There's Jason at work fixing the fixing all the interwebs, the issues that we're having there. So, so if you want to call in 713-785-1817, ask questions. If you want to talk about buy, fix, and flip, buy and hold, wholesaling. We also have a webinar today that Jason's doing. You want to jump on that?
We have almost 700 people registered.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, we're not trying to compete with there's another event that happens tonight. We're not trying to compete with that, but when we start looking at our calendar, there's only so many days in the week.
Yeah.
And we don't like to do events on Sunday except for once a month. We do have an event once a month on Sunday, but other than that, then that's it. So if you want to hop on the webinar today, then all you need to do is go to rightpathrealestate.com. And, it looks like it's coming up. Yeah? No. Oh, well. So if you want to go to rightpathrealestate.com, you can register for the webinar. Also, if you want to go to rightpathrealestate.com, you can register for the weekend retreat that is not this weekend, but next weekend. There is some bad news, and that is that the VIP has already sold out. We have actually 2 people on the waiting list for VIP if anybody drops out or anything like that. Now, we have a couple of general admission seats available. So the event's not... I was under the impression on... today's Wednesday, on Monday, that the entire event was completely sold out, but it's not. And so there you go. And then the other event that we've got going on is Thursday, Marketing Thursday. How to market in any market, not just the flooded home market. Although right now, you know, we're starting to hear all kinds of crazy things about, you know, sellers have got a house that's never been flooded before until this last flood, and they think that their house is still worth, after the flood, what it was before the flood. And we've had quite a few students that are saying, hey, you know, what's the rule, if you will, for flooded houses? And the reality is there is no rule. What you have to understand is there's 2 things coming into play. And I'm kind of drawing out on the desk, but it's radio, so you're not really seeing that. That the first rule is that you have to understand Economics 101. When there's more sellers than there are buyers, prices go down. And then the second thing is when there's fewer buyers, prices go down. So I believe that except for a handful of investors that want to brave, what I can tell you is there's about 75 or 80% of investors out there that are, you know, part-time investors. They're doing buy and hold, for example, as a passive investment, a way to deploy capital. They don't want to put it in the stock market. They don't want to put it in cryptocurrencies. They don't want to put it in, you know, bonds. Yeah.
See cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, right. So they don't want to put it in that. They want to put it in a hard asset like real estate, and they understand real estate. They can touch it, feel it. They realize there's not any more of it that's being created. and they want to do buy and hold as a passive form of relatively passive. I mean, unless you've have 100 houses, have your own property management, all that, then it's more passive. But to, have a handful of houses, not passive, but it's not like buying another job, right? It's not like going to work for a part-time job or anything like that. And it gives great returns because you get paid 5 different ways in buy and hold real estate. But what you're finding right now is a lot of those guys that are part-timers, kind of passive, they had some hits in the buy and hold portfolio, and they just want to liquidate. And here's the problem is that if you want to liquidate an entire portfolio in an area that's been flooded, you want to get all your money out of the deal, and that's not necessarily going to happen. In fact, I can't say it's not necessarily going to happen. It's not going to happen. Are you adjusting the camera? Oh, we weren't actually going live? Oh, sorry. Oops.
So, what's fascinating is these are the guys that went in and bought at 80 and 85 cents on the dollar.
Right.
So, what are they going to do?
Right.
There's absolutely nothing they can do.
Yeah, right.
So, they're going to have to take their losses.
Yeah. Well, because guys like us, we're not even going to be paying 70 cents on the dollar minus repairs.
No, that would be absolutely insane to do. I mean, you're looking at. I've said this before. I mean, there are some real estate investors that are going to take some losses.
Yeah, right.
They paid. Okay, let's back up one step in here. There's another radio show that I don't know what time they come on. I know they're on the same station, and one of the things they talk about is building quote passive income.
Yeah,
and they're doing that and building wealth through real estate. The only way to do that is if you have cash flow and equity.
Right.
And they always forget the equity side of the
equation.
equation.
Of course, right.
So whenever you do,
well, because what they say is cash flow can solve the equity. You can buy with no equity because over time the properties are going to appreciate.
Right. Don't get me wrong. They'll appreciate
until you have a flood and they depreciate.
Yeah, that's right. Until you have an event like this.
Yeah, and then they depreciate.
Or you have a 2008.
Yeah, right.
I mean, think about it. 2008. Now it's 2017. 9 years later.
Yeah.
We're having another 2008 like event, right?
Correct.
So. You tell me, how are you going to get out of this thing if you have no equity? I'll hear somebody else say, "Oh, I have 20% equity in that deal." No, you have 10%.
On paper.
On paper,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You have 10% equity because it takes 10% just to sell the house, right?
Right.
Before even rehab or anything else.
No, but I'm an agent.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. No, I'm an agent. I'm using my own money.
Yeah, right.
So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Let me put it that way.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of people that thought they were real estate investors, and these are the same the folks that are going to. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're gonna lose money, right? If the house floods,
if you want to get out now, you're going to lose money.
You're going to lose money.
Yeah. If you want to hang on to it and rebuild, then over time the value should come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the house floods, and then it's like, okay, what do we do next, right? And then you file an insurance claim. A lot of times insurance is not going to make you whole. I think there's this really big misconception that FEMA is going to come in and save the day for everybody. And we've met with enough people who've had flooded houses in the past with flood insurance, and the insurance didn't cover everything. So the reality is that even when you have insurance, you're going to experience a loss. And in the short term, you're going to experience a loss of equity because that house is not going to be worth as much as they thought it was. I got tagged in a poll from a couple of guys over at White Picket, and they said, hey, all things being equal, a house that was worth $300,000 before the flood, it flooded. Now what's it worth? And I said, well, it depends. Is this the first time it flooded? If it was the first time, was it a couple of inches? Was it 6 feet? I mean, all that is going to be really important. And then the next question I like to ask is a follow-up. How many houses are going to be on the market in that submarket? Was that submarket already 120 days on market before the flood? And now you have half the neighborhood flooded versus 5% of the neighborhood. I mean, there's so many variables that go into what's this thing worth. We did our Pathfinder call last night.
It's part Economics 101 and it's part psychology. Right. Yeah.
So
2 minutes.
Well, it's classic. It's classic supply and demand economics. We had a structural change in the market. Now what happens next? I was on the phone call last night with our Pathfinder folks. Jason, I'm going to look at a house. It's
What's
been
it worth?
flooded. What's
Yeah.
it worth? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we can come up with some guesstimates, but I said, here's the strategy we're looking at. Regardless of price point, can I rent it if I can't sell it? And cash flow. We know it's going to be worth pre-flood ARV in about 2 to 3 years.
Right.
On the long end. Maybe as short as 12 months. But until that market comes back, this is what I told everybody, until the market responds, I have no idea what this house is worth.
Right.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
No idea. So, Jason, what's going to happen to the market? Well, there's only 3 scenarios. Increases in value, stays the same, or a decrease in value. Right? There's only 3 options here. Do we think the storm increased the value of the property?
No.
No. Do we think it stayed the same?
No.
Is that possible?
No.
It's possible.
No.
It's possible. So the more likely is that they've lost value. And this is another argument I've been making, and it's very unpopular, but it's completely true. Those houses that didn't flood in a neighborhood that did flood, those houses are going to have an impact on their value, an adverse impact on value. I mean, if you're in a neighborhood where there was no water whatsoever, streets didn't flood, you may actually have some appreciation coming your way. But if you're in a neighborhood where literally your next door neighbor's house flooded and yours didn't, you might as well consider your house flooded from an equity, from a valuation standpoint. Now, if you're going to live there for another 3, 4, 5 years, no big deal. If you're selling next year or two, you got a problem. You got a big problem.
Yeah, because we don't know what the insurance is going to do, and is your house is probably going to be lumped in with those other houses.
Well, not only that, but you're also in the same neighborhood where all these houses are going on the market. You've got a supply issue.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's a lot of people in for a lot of shock here in the next couple months. We get back from the break. We're going to talk more about the impact of Harvey on Houston real estate. It's Jason Bible, Tom Perry, Right Path Real Estate.
Mike's off.
What is all this?
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion
that's
in
just-
retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all
There's
of your
nothing
deals.
there.
Well, you can.
There's nothing
Quest
here. This
IRA
has
is
nothing to
based
do with the
locally
account.
here in Houston, Texas. At Quest
Let's do
IRA,
this. Do you know what
we
your
offer
password is?
retirement accounts that can be used to invest
your
in real
Facebook
estate,
password?
promissory notes,
No.
private entities, and much more.
Let me look it
Oh,
up.
Many
wait.
of our clients loan money
That
from their
was
IRAs
different.
to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events,
I am so
weekly
fed up with this,
educational
it's not even
classes,
funny.
and free consultations with an IRA specialist.
I don't know why we're having
For more
problems with
information, visit our
year
website at
and no problems.
questira.com or call us at 1-855
Let's try your account.
IRAs.
Let me
To
see if I
tap
can
into
pull
the
up
$24
what-
trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed
This might
over
actually be working.
1,400 evaluations.
Yeah.
We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation.
What happened?
Our product is designed for house flippers,
whatever it did, I think it finally
landlords,
fixed itself.
or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by
Our
a licensed
post reach this week
engineer.
is
Remember to check
115,000.
before ever repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Investor loans offering up to 100% financing are still available. You just have to know where to look. Look no further than Noble Mortgage. Noble Mortgage is a
says
full-service
it's
mortgage
running.
company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing to investors that covers purchase,
Well, I show
repairs, and closing costs.
our video
In
here
addition
on,
to private money, Noble Mortgage
but I
offers
don't show-
conventional loans, FHA, and even no income documentation loans for both residential and commercial properties.
where it's
Call and
going.
ask about our 5-point guarantee, which includes free pre-qualifications within 2 business days. Call 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com. Our team has over 50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100 or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com.
Michael,
noblemoney.com.
would you mind calling in and asking that question? 713-785-1817.
77070.
Are you looking for an
All right, 1
investor-friendly
minute.
general contractor for your investment property?
Yeah, see if it's something
Then
with
call
my account.
Fast
See if
Track
we can log
Remodeling
in
at
there.
832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create
Wait,
our
get
three
to that
keys
spot
to
again,
success.
because I'm not sure I
Use
know.
a detailed scope of
Let me see.
work so that everything gets done. Train and maintain quality
There
crews
you go.
so it gets done right.
20
And
seconds.
complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
This is Business 1110.
Call Jason or Tom at 713-785-1817.
All right, gentlemen, hot mics in 3, 2, 1.
Right Path Real Estate.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Calling number 713-785-1817. We also have a second Facebook Live feed up and running, so you guys can see us on Facebook. So we'll have to repeat the questions like old school way. You know, it's fascinating. I run Facebook Live every morning in my truck on the way to the work. But when trying to get it to work with the radio show, it's always a mess.
Right.
So in any case, we were talking about pre and post Harvey. Tonight I'm doing a webinar talking about buying flooded houses and what that looks like. A lot of questions out there. Jason, how do you evaluate them? What do we pay for them? All that kind of stuff. There's a lot of houses that are being put under contract that I think won't close. And I'll tell you this right now. Wholesalers did this before. Wholesalers would get a property under contract and try and sell it to the next person. To be quite honest with you, in a lot of cases, to a greater fool. And the reality is those houses were never under contract for a price that would work for an investor. So they drag a homeowner on for weeks and sometimes months and never get it closed. Here's the heartbreaking part. A lot of these people that are signing contracts right now do not want to go through that process. They want somebody to come in and write a check for their house. And if that's something you guys are interested in, if there's somebody out there that wants to sell us a house, go to HoustonHouseBuyers.com and we'll go out there, make you an offer, and we'll close on that house. There are a lot of people out here in the real estate business that are just putting stuff under contract that have no intention on closing. They can't. You know, when we talk about some people who are getting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 houses under contract, do they have the ability to close that many houses? I mean, we certainly do, but a lot of folks do not. Do they have the ability to close the property? You know, folks can make you all kinds of promises, but at the end of the day, can they buy it? And if they can't, it doesn't really matter what they get the property for, what they have that property under contract for. Can they close it for that number or not? So here's the big question. What are these things worth? And the ultimate answer until sales start coming back is we don't know. We have no idea. We have no clue what these houses are worth. And we won't know until they start to sell. It's kind of like rentals. Hey, Jason, what should this property rent for after the flood? I don't know. Put it on the market. We'll find out. And the ultimate question we've been asking a lot of sellers is, do you think it's increased the value of your house? I know some people have said, well, my house didn't flood, so therefore it's worth more. I think a lot of people are going to be shocked to know that that's probably not the case. In fact, if you're in a neighborhood that experienced a lot of flooding, those houses are going to end up on the market at some point. Not everyone is going to rebuild. I think that's one big shocker you're going to see that's going to play out in neighborhoods over the next 36 months are how values are impacted by people who have either A, fixed up their house, or B, haven't fixed up their house, but add to inventory in that submarket. And that's absolutely going to have an impact on prices. I was telling a story last week about one of the folks in our office. He was making some offers on some properties in, let's just say, on the north side of town. They already had 120 to 180 days on market. And they would sell 2, if not 3 houses a year in that market. Well, like 6 of them flooded. So now what happens? All 6 of those end up on the market? 3 of them end up on the market? And if it's that many that end up on the market, what's going to be the impact? It's going to have a substantial impact on the value of their properties. And if that value...
Here?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Let's give this a try. If all of those properties end up hitting the market, let's see, we may have actually gotten this to work. Nope. So all these properties end up hitting the market at the same time. What's ultimately going to happen to those properties?
They do that?
Let's see.
We'll see.
What's ultimately going to happen to the value of those properties? They're going to decrease in value. The problem is there's so many people running into these areas right now. The market hasn't settled out yet.
Yeah, what I think is interesting now when I see people going in and buying 3-4 houses in a day, 7 houses in a day, things like that, they're basically saying yes, based on the stories that I've told, yes to whatever the seller's price is to get the property under contract. But what's going to happen is no one has an infinite amount of money, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you don't have an infinite amount of money, if you're not a hedge fund or something like that that's got $500 million, then you're overpaying essentially. So shut this one down.
Yeah, go ahead and close that one.
All right. Hey guys, we switched over to Tom's Facebook page.
No, it's on Right Path.
Oh, is it on the Right Path page?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right. Well then, we're gonna shut this one down and go to the one with the flag on it. So there we go.
All right, we've got the right Facebook page working. So ultimately, they're getting all this stuff under contract. Are any of them going to be able to close on those deals? And my guess is not. And then the next question is, what is the value of these properties once you sell them? You don't know until they're sold. I mean, I'll tell you one thing I love right now is hearing all these real estate investors that are all these real estate investors out there that are just locking stuff up. And let's say they get a bunch of private money, and let's say they do buy 10 houses this month. Well, what are the value of those properties?
We don't know.
No idea. How's an appraiser going to value them? What did I didn't go to the event that you guys had. I was in L.A. What was Michelle Emler's, like, what did she say regarding next-gen appraisals and how the appraisal is going to work pre-post flood, all that sort of stuff?
Well, I mean, obviously, the interesting part that she's really saying is that appraisers always look at historical data, right? So they can only look at what's sold.
Right.
And so she can't really give an appraisal on a property that's flooded until after something's sold at that price, right? But she's guesstimating that it's going to be between a 10 and 40%, depending on the area.
Oh, wow.
Difference in price. Now, here's the other problem. You know, psychology and economics 101 would say that if you're in an area that's never flooded and it didn't flood, you know, we should see some appreciation, right? Mm-hmm. And the marketplace can appreciate faster than appraisals can.
Right.
Which means that if it depreciates, you know, let's say that it's really because if somebody says, hey, this house that you were going to list for $440, you put it on the market for $475 and you get $485 and $490 offers, she's saying it may not appraise for that because I can't see that one has sold there before.
Yeah.
But the way that you get a new comp is that people have to be willing to bring an extra $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 to the table, right? Mm-hmm. And that's how you set new comps. But by the same token, she's saying that if before a flood a house would have, sold for $400,000, and then it flooded, and a buyer comes in after the fact and says, I'll give you $400,000 for the house, she's thinking it's going to appraise for that. However, because she's got comps that support that number, right?
Right.
But she's saying that she doesn't believe that buyers are actually going to come in and do that. So if they come in and offer $375 or $350 or post flood, that's going to become the new comp. Because she really traces what buyers do, right? She's lagging behind.
She's a lagging indicator.
That's exactly right.
What's scary, what I think a lot of real estate investors don't understand, is that declining market, appreciating market, for me, for you and I, don't care. We just buy at the next new price.
Correct.
It's
a little bit like dollar cost averaging, right?
It is, yeah. What's scary is no activity.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're going to see. You're going to see no activity until people begin to strike down prices and to attract buyers. And we're going to find
in the flooded areas.
In the flooded areas.
Yeah, we're going to
find the floor. And we're going to find it pretty quick. And I'll tell you what, if you think your house didn't flood, but you're in a neighborhood of flooded houses, your house is going to get lumped in with all those other ones. I guarantee you. So all these folks that are in neighborhoods that didn't flood, that think that their house is worth more, are going to wake up and their house is actually worth less. Now, does it matter if you're going to live there for 3 or 4 or 5 years? I don't think it matters.
No.
I mean, if half my neighborhood flooded, my wife is just absolutely stuck on living in this current house for another 13 years, right? So I think at the end of the day, it will never impact the value of our house. But if our neighborhood flooded and we were going to sell in the next 12 to 24, maybe even 36 months, it's going to have an impact on value.
It's a little bit like oil prices, right? Oil prices are down right now. But, if you're in oil and gas stocks for the long haul, I don't know that, 10 or 12 years from now, it's really going to matter that much.
Yeah.
So, not that I'm in any oil and gas stocks and don't recommend that. So not giving any kind of buying advice or anything like that. But yeah, if you're in it for the long haul, chances are it's going to go up. Real estate more so than the equities market, I believe, because there's right now more money in the equities market than there is, supply really to be had. And so that's driven up prices a tremendous amount. And it's not the same way, in real estate. We've got a self-collateralizing asset, and you can also leverage your money on that particular asset. I think that's really the only reason why, or the only exception to the fear of the future prices going up is if financing rules ever change, things like that. So you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817.
Mike's off.
All right. Well, now I can.
Are small returns getting
get
in the
on
way of your
here.
retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best
Go ahead and
investments
post
you can
that.
make. Find out how JB
And then-
Fund Services offers a 9%
So
preferred
it
return
sounds like
up to a
we
13%
need
waterfall.
a
Call us
separate
today,
Right Path account.
281-915-0906,
Why my account would have
or
changed,
visit
I
our
don't
website,
know.
Yeah,
jbfundservices.com. That's
But we need a separate
281-915-0906.
Right Path Real Estate Facebook
This
login.
investment is offered to accredited investors.
Have you ever experienced the pain of trying to get MLS comps for your hot lead? If you've lost deals waiting for MLS comps,
Dude, I love these spammy friends requests. Look at this one. I'm sure that's really Samantha.
Sure.
Propelio is
That's
a brokerage
awesome.
website that gives you instant 24/7 access to high equity lead lists and comps with access to a network
she lives
of
in
the top
Katy.
real estate
Oh, how
agents.
convenient.
Get an edge on everyone else. Get a free 7-day trial
Block?
today by going to getmlscomps.com now. That's getmlscomps.com.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar with Quest IRA, let me tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly educational classes, networking opportunities.
How
and
do you do it where
ability
the
to tap into trillions of
stuff
dollars
is on
through
the
your
side
real
over
estate
there?
investing
Do you
I
know?
don't know, because it's
Come
in.
by our
Are you in
office
the
or
app?
Join us remotely.
No.
as we
Yeah,
simulcast
probably.
you're-
Yeah.
so
all of
close-
our
just log out of that.
educational classes Every Tuesday morning.
And then just go to the regular
and
page.
evening.
The
For more
app is real
information,
strange.
Call
Yeah.
us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at
I read some of the stuff your dad's
questira.com.
posting.
Yeah.
I didn't know he's written all those
Oh,
articles.
yeah, my
on-
God.
That dude can write.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
great.
He's got mad skills on writing.
This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-347-9911
Good morning, Erica.
or check us out online at Next.
Yeah, Michael, did you call in 713-785-1817? Do you want to do that?
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team
All
at
right, 2
Benchmark
minutes,
understands
guys.
the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online
I gotta
at
call Daryl this morning.
benchmarkbroker.com.
I'll do that.
That's
Yeah.
benchmarkbroker.com.
I was trimming
That's
a bush that had thorns.
281-569-4353.
The thorn poked my thumb.
Benchmarkbroker.com.
Tip of the thorn broke off in my thumb.
Are you expecting to close accurately?
It's almost like
on
a
time
splinter, you
with
know?
lots of
Yeah.
Communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience
All right,
during the
I
loan
think
process.
your friend's calling
My team
in.
believes
Yep.
in putting people
Michael.
and culture before results.
Sweet.
Our company concentrates on building those
Oh,
teams who
yeah, this
operate with
just went out.
structure, process, and recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to make this
Welcome
your
to the
best home
club.
purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com.
All right, yeah,
or
Michael's on
call
hold.
713-579-3611. Again, Jennifer.legacymutual.com.
The
We
leads
can't
are
wait
weak. No,
to
you're
consult with you
weak.
soon. NMLS 514497.
I think we need to play that in the conference room.
NMLS 514497.
No, you're
This
weak.
We need
is
fresh
Business
leads.
1110.
Coffees for closers.
Jason
premium
Hurtado,
leads.
713-785-1817. Or look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com/
hang on, I need
RightPathRealEstate.
All right, fellas. Hot mics, 3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Michael has put the fear of calling behind him. Only because he was asking the question on the Book of Faces, and I felt like it would be good for people that are listening on terrestrial radio to hear as well. So, Michael, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
So you were asking a question on Facebook. Go ahead and fire it out there.
Okay, I went and visited a few houses the other day. One of them had about 5 or 6 inches of water in it.
Right.
How would I value the rehab on that?
So what would you have evaluated the rehab at without the flood being included in it?
Let's say the ARV would have been about 130.
Okay.
And then it had, one of them I saw had about 6 inches of water. One of them had about 4 feet of water.
Yep.
The one that had 4 feet of water had the refrigerators dumped over, the air conditioner was flooded, everything was flooded. So I was wondering.
So I would do the rehab estimation exactly the same way that I would do any other house that's not been flooded, with the exception of this. The key things that, because you're always, if you're going to go in and do a regular rehab estimate, you're going to do you're going to know what you can do for $10 a foot, $20 a foot, $30 a foot, etc. on, that particular property, right? And then you're always going to take into consideration separately HVAC, foundation, roof, plumbing, right? When I say plumbing, I mean supply line and drain line, right? So all of those things are going to be just exactly as normal. And then the only thing that you're going to add to that is it's about $10 per foundation square footage of the affected foundation to replace sheetrock based on the percentage that you're going to do. So in other words, if you're doing, let's say, a 10 by 10 room and you're doing 50% of the sheetrock, then it's going to be closer to $5. It's going to be like $500 to replace the sheetrock in that area. Does that make sense? And whether it's 6 inches or whether it's 2 foot or 3 foot or 4 foot, I'm always going to replace 4 foot down. And the reason why is because what little I save in the cost of the sheetrock itself is about for people that are buying it in bulk right now, I mean, I know a guy right now that's got a warehouse full of sheetrock that he bought by the pallet. And if you're buying it by the pallet, it's a little bit less than $9 a sheet. So whether I use a half a sheet or I use a full sheet, whether it's $4.50 for the rock or $9 for the rock, that's not that much of a difference in terms of materials, right? And my tape is the same, my float's the same, all of that. Where the expense is the labor. If my guys, instead of just going up there, cutting the sheetrock out 4 foot and below, and then just taking a full sheet, setting it up there, snap, 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 just hitting it with the nail gun, boom, 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 it can go really, really fast, right? But if I'm trying to do like 16 inches, now I've got to cut a straight line on 16 inches on the rock. I mean, that's going to take a lot more time than the $4 or $5 that I'm going to save on the sheetrock itself. Does that make sense? I'd just rather do full sheets and lay them on their side and just go 8 foot at a time. Boom, 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 I'm done.
Right. Okay.
So I'm going to plan on replacing. So, in fact, we have a Right Path Real Estate app. If you're on Android, it's RPRE. If you're on, what's that other brand? Apple. Yeah, Apple. If you're on an Apple.
If you're on a superior Apple product.
If you're on one of those, one of them, their Apple phones, then, it's just Right Path Real Estate. And I believe sheetrock nail gun, yeah. Yeah. Jeff's texting me, sheetrock nail gun, yeah. So if you do the app, it's going to give you an accurate number. You just have to then the other thing you have to take into consideration is cabinets, right? But other than that, and then the other thing is outlets. I would go in and replace all the outlets. And you got baseboards and all those things. You just have to count those things. But the sheetrock itself is really where, it's about $10 a square foot based on foundation square footage, but that's to do the entire room, that ceiling and everything. So keep in mind, you're not doing the ceiling, you're not doing the top 4 feet. And then if you got 6 foot of flooding, the only other thing that you're really adding is switches, right? And of course, replacing refrigerators and all that, if it's a buy and hold property, we don't put refrigerators in buy and hold properties anyway. So you're going to replace, all the appliances, which all that's just like you would do a normal rehab. The only other thing that you're adding really is going to be baseboards, switch plates, receptacles, all those kind of things, the outlets, that kind of stuff.
It's really just a lot more sheetrock and insulation than anything else, right? And baseboards, which you really wouldn't do in a rental property unless they're really torn up. So,
well, oftentimes if you're doing tile, for example, you might be doing baseboards anyway because it's going to be a different height if you're converting carpet to tile and those kind of things. But it's not that much. So I wouldn't say that's a $50 a foot rehab. I mean, I would say let's say it's a $20 a foot rehab and add an extra $10 a foot for the sheetrock and baseboards and those and outlets, those kind of things. So I'd just go with an extra $10 a foot for that. So you'd be looking at like $30 a foot. Does that help out?
Okay, good. I didn't want to price myself out of anything.
Yeah, no.
Well, it depends. Is that a house we're looking at too?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's $100 a foot.
Yes, it's $50 a foot. Nah, we're just playing. Yeah. All right, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Any other questions? All right, guess not. All right, if anybody else has any other questions. Okay, thanks, Michael. Have a great day. 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817 is our call-in number.
I think the real scary thing right now is I'm still seeing people like digging out of this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And when the mold really kicks off.
Yeah.
How many of these houses do people not live there? They're not necessarily vacant houses, but they may be houses for rent or that sort of thing, and they are out of state, and all of a sudden this thing starts growing mold. It looks like the inside of the outside of some hairy cheese.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be there are going to be some rough properties here in the next couple of months.
Well, I think I told you about a property that I walked the other day. Won't tell what area or anything like that, but it's flooded 3 times in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And the house was built probably 70 years ago.
Yeah.
Something like that. So probably built in the 40s. Had the old original, solid wood floors, right? The wood planks, not the engineered wood.
Those are gorgeous wood floors too.
Yeah, but they expand and contract. The reason why engineered floors are the floor of choice right now is that because they lay grains crossways and things like that, they don't expand and contract as much as the real wood does, right? Real wood expands and contracts a lot. Well, he didn't really remediate after the second flood. And so that left really some moist wood behind the walls, which obviously, termites are attracted to moist wood. So I didn't actually pull any of the sheetrock away to check and see if he's got termites. But after this most recent flood, what it did is it expanded the wood to the point that it was pushing away the bottom plate. That's for those of y'all, I know you know, but for the listeners that don't know, the bottom plate is where the vertical 2x4s that are on 16-inch centers, where that attaches to, like when you're framing a house, it's along the exterior wall. It's where it's the support structure where all the weight of the roof goes. So every exterior wall is a load-bearing wall because it's the roof rests on an exterior wall, right?
Yep.
And so in this case, the wood is expanding to the point where it's pushing the bottom plates away, which is creating a lever on the wall itself, because the wall is trying to stay attached like a seesaw, right? It's trying to stay attached at the top of the roof, but it's actually getting pinched. So then that means that it's squeezing in. There's no space for the ceiling to go. So the ceilings,
it's buckling. It's literally like the wood is expanding and it's pushing out.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
which is
like
causing the ceiling to pinch, right?
And then the roof is just going to fall in on it, so it's going to implode.
So you're creating this trapezoid where it's wider at the base and it's skinnier at the top.
That's a good That's a good way to describe it. It is a trapezoid now instead of a square.
Yeah, instead of a box, you got a trapezoid because you've got let's say it should be 10 foot wide at the bottom and 10 foot wide at the top. And now it's expanded an extra 4 inches on left and right? So it's 8 inches wider at the bottom, and it's 8 inches narrower at the top. And sheetrock doesn't have that much give in it, and wood doesn't have that much give in it. And so I was estimating it's about a $50 a foot rehab.
I just thought it was funny when you called me and said, I know this doesn't happen very often anymore, but I actually saw something I've never seen before.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like Jeff and I, we kind of compared notes from time. The time that he actually videoed.
Oh, that termite house. It was crazy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, we've seen termite houses before, but never a house like that. And then I've never seen a house quite like this. And the sad thing is the guy's living in it.
Yeah, it's not. And the scary thing at this point, I think the house is structurally unsound.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's incredible, but that's what happens when you don't manage the water remediation, right? I mean, best thing you can do for a house right now is just
have humidifiers and
dehumidifiers, fans, get all that porous material out, and then just let it sit. After that, you could take your time rebuilding. You can take your time fighting with the insurance company.
Hey, you can live in it technically without the bottom 4 foot of sheetrock in it.
You can live in it.
Yeah.
You won't get much. You won't be able to charge your phones downstairs, but
you could put your outlets back in.
Yeah, that's true. You put your outlets back in.
You could put that back in.
Yeah.
It would be a topic of conversation if you had a dinner party.
Yeah, because if somebody had to use the restroom, they could see you in the restroom.
Yeah, except for that.
Yeah, you could literally see from one side of the house to the other.
Right.
So
hey, I wonder where my kid is.
Yeah, you just look. Go, oh,
hey, Jeremiah, come on.
Hey, man, they're trying to play hide and seek, and you can see their knees.
Yeah, right.
You're like, hey, I see that kid.
Hey, makes for an interesting hide and seek.
Yeah. Hey, you got to make fun of some of this stuff, right? You just go absolutely insane.
Yeah, right. You gotta laugh to keep from crying, right? Hey, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate, 713-785-1817. I think I hear the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you on the other side of the break.
All right.
Mic's off.
All right. Can we talk more about the whole mold remediation process and finances involved? I'd rather do that off air.
Finances is in. Here's your check.
Yeah, right.
Info you need to close a deal. Propelio is a brokerage website that gives you instant 24/7 access to high-equity lead lists and comps with access to a network of the top real estate agents. Get an edge on everyone else. Get a free 7-day trial today by going to getmlscomps.com now. That's getmlscomps.com.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes, binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need
this is
and
interesting.
when you need it. It's there for you. Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts. Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Rehab loans, conventional loans, FHA, and no-income documentation loans can seem scary unless you have the right mortgage company to guide you through the process. Since 2003, Noble Mortgage has been helping investors just like you. Whether rehabbing houses, buying your first home, rental, or commercial property, Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing. Call Noble Mortgage at 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip, rehab, or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
Selecting a foundation company and their product for repair is a lot like a game of chance. You simply don't know what you're going to get. The foundation repair industry as a whole doesn't carry a license, nor is it regulated. However, Foundation Check utilizes professional engineers to review all of our files to give you the best foundation analysis in today's market. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825 or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment.
All right, 90
while mitigating
seconds.
risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers
That's awesome.
specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market.
Oh, yeah, we
Give
swap
Next
shoes,
Gen a
right?
Call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
I don't know how I cut off that.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans?
I just hit
Why
back.
settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments
Her
you
and
can
Oscar
make.
are good people.
Find out
Yeah.
how
Funny.
JB
Yeah.
Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
Are you a realtor or seller that is concerned
All right,
about the
30
new
seconds.
TRID rules and closing on time? I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer at Legacy Mutual Mortgage, and we have mastered the 30-day close. We close on time, accurately, and with tons of communication. You'll have a dedicated team of a coordinator and a contract-to-close associate. Give me a call today at 713-579-3611, and let's talk about how we can help you on your next transaction. NMLS 514497.
This is Business 1110.
Call Jason or Tom at 713-785-1817 or look for us on
All right,
Facebook
gentlemen.
Live at
Hot mics, 3, 2,
facebook.com/RightPath
1.
Real Estate.
Welcome back, Right Path Real Estate. Had a little bit of technology glitches at the beginning. We're back in the groove again. It's we're a lot better at real estate than we are the
I'll
whole
never forget,
Wirecast thing.
Like our first weekend retreat, I was like, look, we're better at buying houses than...
Yeah.
You want a flashy show, go somewhere else. You want to learn how to buy a lot of real estate, this is the place you need to be. Speaking of which, weekend retreat, I don't know if we have any spots left for our next weekend retreat.
I thought we had some GA spots.
We might have some general admission spots left.
Yeah.
We are, I don't know if we can talk about it yet, but it is possible that we may open up another Houston weekend retreat simply because of the demand. So many of y'all want to go to the weekend retreat now. I guess word's out. It's pretty sweet. So we may open up another weekend retreat between now and the end of the year. We'll announce that on the radio show. But if you want to learn how to buy real estate, how to really invest in real estate, this is the place you need to be. This isn't a, happy hoo-ha, we're dancing and clapping and running up and down the aisles and you get to be a millionaire and you'll be a millionaire. It's none of that nonsense. This is a business meeting to learn how to build a real estate portfolio. Learn how to flip houses, learn how to wholesale houses, learn how to buy rental properties, learn how to be the bank. That's what this seminar is. It's the how do I do this, Jason? How do I find these deals? How do I fund these deals? How do I market for these deals? How do I turn them into rental properties? How do I flip them? How do I manage a rehab? What does it cost to rehab a house? How do I raise money?
How to make an
All
offer
that.
without pissing the seller off?
Yeah, how do I make an offer? How do you make... Let me ask you this question right now. Do you know how to sit down with a seller who's lost everything, literally everything, and make them an offer without offending them? How do you do that?
I know how to do that.
I know how to do that too. Might want to come to the weekend retreat. Go to rightpathrealestate.com. You can sign up there. I've got an event I'm hosting tonight. It's a webinar. Again, go to rightpathrealestate.com. You can sign up there. Unlimited seating, I think, on the webinar. So I think we've got almost 700 that are signed up. And then Thursday night, I'll be on stage talking about how to market for deals. How do you find these deals? We're going to talk specifically, where do you find these? A lot of discussions on flood houses. We're going to talk about how do you find those flood houses. So if you go to rightpathrealestate.com, you can find all the information there. If you click down to events, there's a green button underneath there. It says calendar, and it has a calendar for all of our events, for at least through the end of 2017. So you can get an idea of where we're going to be and what we're going to talk about, all that sort of stuff. But if you really want to build... a portfolio, now's the time to do it. People are scared. They're scared. What do I do with real estate? I want to liquidate all my rental properties that are in flood zone. I mean, that's the time to go in and start buying. When nobody else wants to, now's the time to start buying.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's a lot of investors right now that are afraid to step in. They're afraid to start buying. And I can't think of a better time, because when 90% of the investors are afraid to start buying, that's the opportunity. Because the retail buyers, they're not going to step in and buy these flooded houses. Now they will after they're redone. So here's the main thing you need to know. Go to rightpathrealestate.com, rightpathrealestate.com. Go to the events tab at the top, or or you can scroll down. And I will be in studio tomorrow. And thanks for listening, guys.
Build your team Thursday. So, all right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Nikki.
All right, fellas, you're welcome. Have a good day, guys.
Hey, so Nikki, let's stop.